Yeah, it's just people that don't get it. People that sort of just think that what you do isn't hard work as well. It's like, oh, just sing for an extra hour.
As soon as you finish your set, I used to make this mistake all the time, and I just pack down immediately. If I'm tired, I probably still do. But as soon as you finish your set, don't hide away. Go and talk to the audience, because that's a good chance to network. They've just finished, they remember you.
Network is key.
Absolutely.
Networking. You can't network enough. I mean, Adele is the most iconic voice, and I think people embraced that she was plus size, and I think she was a massive role model.
She embraced it as well.
Yeah, and I think she was a massive role model for people. Mr. Wells, do you want to tell us of certain things of wanting what you can't afford?
Everything. Just everything. If it exists, can't afford it. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 5 of Young Broke Musicians podcast. Episode 5. Ploughing through these, mate.
We really are.
We are.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Happy days. We got
still
lots.
Buzzing?
Always buzzing. Always buzzing. I'm like a bee, but not a wasp, because we don't like wasps over here at this podcast.
No, we do not like wasps.
No. We have strong opinions about wasps, and they need to go.
Yeah, they do.
What purpose do they serve?
None.
Exactly. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, guys. Now, today we're going to be going through things like wanting what you can't afford, being a young broke musician. What else are we going to be doing? 5
things that we've learnt during the 10 years plus of gigging and working on creative stuff.
Indeed. We'll also be talking about the image in the industry and how it affects people's opinions and careers and choices of how they live their life as well, being in the public eye.
Yeah, stressful stuff. And then a big topic, touchy topic. Should you work for free, and when should you work for free?
If you should work for free.
If you should work for free. That's a big if.
If you don't want to say yes to those gigs, we'll be helping you out with certain things that you can say and how to say no.
And dealing with people who just don't get it.
So basically, if I said to Connor, what do you do for a job?
I'm a musician.
Oh.
You're unemployed then.
You're unemployed.
Still live at home.
Oh, it must be really hard. Oh, it's such a challenging and awful industry.
It's a real job. It's a real job.
We'll go through that as well. We'll also be talking about quirky little things and aggressive?
Aggressives?
No. We'll be talking about quirky little things that we've picked up along the way, and we'll be talking to you guys about who you'd like us to interview and what topics that we can talk about as well. So, Mr. Wells, do you want to tell us of certain things of wanting what you can't afford?
Everything. Just everything. If it exists, can't afford it. I kid. We've made a list of things that in the future we want and currently can't afford, or sometimes struggle to afford. Like being a musician and working in creative industry.
I think as
certain things that can be a struggle.
Being creative and us in the kind of same industries, there is one thing that we definitely need at the moment.
Definitely.
And that is the
Roadcaster Pro. We've spoken about this a lot on the podcast, just because we love it so much. But backstory to anyone who's missed previous episodes, we film a podcast called The Good Luck Club, and the host of the show, Mr. Simon Squibb, was looking for some podcasting equipment, so I recommended him this device called the Roadcaster Pro. He replied, just said, bought it. Like, I sent him the link, and the next reply was bought it, and
amazing.
He ordered it. So lucky. Not lucky. He's worked very hard.
Luckily, he's not a young broke musician.
He's not a young broke musician. Far from it. And we've fallen in love with it, with using it, and we want one of our own.
We need one of our own.
We need one of our own. It's more than a want, it's a need.
It is.
And the next thing is a need as well.
An office. We need an office, because as you can see at the minute, we're recording. Well, if you can't see, if you're listening to the podcast and you're not looking at the YouTube channel that we've got and the visual that we've got, we're actually outside in my garden at the moment, aren't we?
We are. Like on Roxy's camera, it's a little bit tricky to tell. It just looks like a nice wooden wall in an office. But you can tell from my camera angle that these are patio doors. Which is cool, though.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
It's a beautiful day, but when it's not a beautiful day, it's quite scary because we're balancing equipment in the pouring rain. We're not, I joke. We'll go inside.
We make do.
We make do. Yeah, we
Just
do.
like recording a podcast through an iPad.
Is there anything else, Connor, that you would that you want that you can't afford?
Well, this one sort of goes into two. So like camera gear and then my dream camera gear. So I want the holy trinity of lenses. Now, if anyone is into cameras like Roxy and I, there are 3 lenses that, well, a guy called Pete McKinnon, he made a video about them called the holy trinity of lenses. And they are basically all you need for film and video. So you've got the 16 to 35, which is a good sort of wide one for like landscapes, macro shots, and if you're doing it for video, great for vlogging because it's very wide angle. There's the 24 for 70, which is sort of like a really good all-rounder. It's great for portraits. It's just very versatile. It's like the Nifty 50.
I love the Nifty 50.
It is your favourite lens.
It is my favourite lens.
You give me the
world.
absolute resting bee face and death stare when I have to swap to the 50 to 45.
I get really annoyed because I'm just like, no, I just want the 50.
It is a banging lens.
Yeah.
And then there's the 70 to 200, which is called a telephoto lens, which is great for staying out of the action. Like if I wanted to take pictures of, I don't know, lions and I was using a 60 to 35, I'd have to be very, very close to the lions.
You'd have to be in its mouth, really, wouldn't you?
I'd be eaten by the lions. And that would be a great Sun news report headline. Unemployed broke musician mauled to death by lions for using the wrong lens.
I mean, I'd literally be talking to myself throughout the podcast, which, I mean, would be me on a day-to-day basis.
So that is what I want. That is what I want lens-wise and camera gear-wise. I'm pretty set audio-wise, other than Roadcaster. But
I
those
think
lenses.
if we're still kind of going on camera gear and creative stuff, I am madly jealous of you because you have the most incredible camera bag in the world.
Oh, yes.
For those of you who are friends and regulars for... oh God, there it is.
It's
for those of you who are friends of
cannot see me on shot right now.
the Young Broke Musicians, those of you that are friends of the Young Broke Musicians, this is the Nomatics, the Nomatic camera bag that has basically been designed by Peter McKinnon. So you all know how much Connor and I adore Peter McKinnon.
We's obsessed, mate.
We's obsessed. This is his camera bag. I would really love it. I just think it would be so handy for all of my gear and it would be awesome. It
is so good. And the fact that you can put clothes in it, it's got a little clothing compartment. You can put like packing cubes. Boop, boop. And then there's the camera cube. That's my favourite part. So if you don't want to take, that bag is pretty big, like word of warning, it is heavy. And if you're like going out for the day, say if you're on a city break. So I went to Berlin on a solo trip. For all the listeners listening, that is Roxy munching a crisp, ASMR style. But I did my first ever solo trip to Berlin back in 2018, and I bought a suitcase and a camera bag. Now, if I just had that, that would have been perfect because I could fit like 2 days worth of clothes in and camera gear.
I reckon you could get more than two days worth.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Because it's got the expandable bit.
Yeah, you'd be able to also like... Yeah.
Plus, if I didn't put the camera cube in, I could fit another good day's worth of clothes in.
You could.
Roll, don't fold.
Roll?
Roll. Roll your clothes.
They see me rolling.
They see you rolling. My T-shirt.
I think every musician wants a new guitar, apart from me, I think.
You're
actually.
set. Yeah.
I adore my Martin and my Sigmas.
They're beautiful.
I'm massively like clingy to my equipment. Like I believe that my guitars have feelings.
How do you feel when someone says, "Oh, can I have a go?"
No.
Like, shout.
No. You're not allowed to touch it. Don't breathe near it. Don't look at it.
That's why you got to bring your own mic to gigs.
Oh my God, does it annoy you when you're at a gig, you're singing, and all of a sudden someone's like, not open mics, but people think that it's an open mic.
Yeah.
And I went to the toilet once, and someone before I went to the toilet asked if they could use my microphone. I said no, because for those of you who don't know, microphones are a very personal thing. Expensive thing. And you are literally breathing into this microphone. You're putting your lips on this microphone. It's a very intimate thing that it's basically, if someone else uses your microphone, it's like kissing kissing them.
It is.
It's like it's putting your lips where their lips have been, and it's like, no, I don't like it. So I got really annoyed because when I went to the toilet, when I came back, my microphone was on and it had been left on the floor where they'd picked it up from my mic stand and left it on the floor.
No.
And like gone onto my PA kit, unmuted the microphone. I was fuming. I was really upset, and they couldn't understand why I was upset.
Because it's yours.
And they smoked as well.
That's
I'm
the worst thing.
I'm a non-smoker, and for me, if you want to smoke, that's cool. You go and do your thing. But for those of us who are non-smokers, that person then made my microphone smell of cigarette smoke, and they'd obviously like put their lips all over it, and it really annoyed me.
The one I hate is like when you go to an open mic or something and people have clearly had beers and drinks before drinking and you get beer breath on the microphone.
Beer breath on the microphone.
It's not the one, is it?
And the thing is, if you go to an open mic night and you say, oh no, it's okay, I've brought my own microphone, you get looked at as if you're weird.
She's like, oh, shops at John Lewis.
Yeah. You're a Marks and Sparks person.
Yeah. Too good for these battered mics.
I mean, Marks and Sparks, they do incredible salads.
They do.
I'm not gonna.
I remember when we were at Fussy Bear and you went to Marks and Sparks to get a salad.
I really did. I did. I think there are so many things of wanting what we can't afford. I mean, I am obsessed with motorbikes. For people who don't know, I love motorbikes. I love all things with two wheels. I think it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Old or new, classic or not classic, I love them. So I would probably get like a Monster Ducati and like an old Norton. I think that would be really nice.
A Norton would be cool.
Yeah, and a home recording system.
Home recording system.
Dude, I need a home recording system.
You do. See, I
haven't got it.
You haven't got it. See, I like recording in a studio. I quite like that feeling of going into a studio for like a day to record a track, because I'm really good with like video editing, but audio editing and setting up mics and stuff for like recording myself, I think I'd just end up frustrating myself. I like the experience of going into a studio.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd like to have a studio for video work.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't record my own songs in a studio.
No.
In like a home studio, so to speak.
No.
I've got the loop pedal for that.
There are two things that, again, I am still obsessed with. And,
what was it, episode 2?
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
I went into this in quite some detail. So I won't go into it as much detail. If you want to hear more about it, please revisit episode 2.
Links in the bio.
If I had unlimited amount of money, these are the things that I can't afford.
Mm-hmm. Or not allowed.
Or not allowed. This is for my mother. I would like 3 pygmy goats and 3 chickens. Now my chickens, what are they going to be called?
Oh.
Nugget.
Perry.
Perry. And Nando.
And Nando's.
Nugget, Nando and Perry.
And I'd bring a 4th, which is Kiev.
Yeah, and then Connor will have well, maybe we could hatch one of the chicks. And then we can call him Kiev.
Baby Kiev.
I mean, I just love them. And I want them.
And I think the last thing that we can't afford, it's not even released the price of it yet, or a release date. It's been pushed back, I think, twice now because of coronavirus, which is very, very upsetting. We use Canon cameras. We only use Canon cameras because they're the best. And they announced early this year that, well, a couple of years ago they did the Canon EOS R. It was a good camera, but some people had mixed reviews of it because it was missing a few specs. But this one, they announced the Canon EOS R5, which is basically the pro body, the pro camera. And it's just everything, mate.
It's just everything. It's the camera that is the camera of all cameras.
It's got every spec I want.
It's stunning.
Great autofocus in 4K, 8K, although we still don't know how long it can record for 8K.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to find that out. But we will do a little pod on it for those photographers and videographers who like this channel.
Mm-hmm. We maybe we'll have a hands-on review because Simon might be getting one. It's tempting, but
that wasn't a because it was a as in like
no words, man.
Amazing.
It is. But the rumoured price, I check Canon Rumours every day, which is a very reliable like rumour site. Most of the stuff they post has actually come true.
Okay.
And It's looking to be about £3,500.
Pounds,
yeah.
Not p.
Not p.
Unfortunately.
I wish. Can you imagine? How much would that
pebbles.
be? Or pebbles.
3,500 pebbles. I mean...
Chocolate coins. Monopoly money. I wish.
Yeah, I wish.
I wish.
Okay, so we've basically gone through that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shall we talk about...
5 things we've learnt.
5 things that we have learnt from our years in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to go first, Mr. Wells?
No. Yeah, go on then. You've convinced me.
I thought you were going to be like, no.
No. So, we've been gigging for like 10 plus years, and you learn things. Like, we're still learning things about sort of video work and creative work. I'm still learning everything new about YouTube, and I've been doing it for sort of 5 years. But I've been gigging a lot longer, so I've learned quite a few things. And I think the main thing, always have spares of everything.
Oh, dude,
Spare
the amount
guitar
of times
strings,
that people
spare
have got
picks.
caught out.
Mm.
Oh, wow. I've actually got a story about this.
Fire away.
So, I was playing at Rhythms of the World Festival.
I think I remember this story.
It was amazing. Like,
R.I.P. Rhythms of the World.
I know, it's so sad that it's not going on at the moment. Oh, bring back
festivals.
Rhythms.
Yeah.
Bring back Rhythms of the World.
At the Priory or in the town?
At the Priory. 100% at the Priory.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there. I was about to... I was one person from going on stage, and the girl before me, who actually was Kim Wilde's daughter, I believe.
Oh.
She was about to
Name
go
drop.
on. Yeah, catch the mic. She was about to go on, and she didn't have a guitar strap.
Oh.
So she asked if she could borrow mine. I said, yeah, that's no problem. I gave her my guitar strap. Everything was great. Her set was incredible. Really enjoyed it. And it was time for me to go on. The technician...
Were you on the Ice House stage?
I was on the Ice House stage.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember that one.
I was.
It was warm.
It was big as well. It was quite a nice little tent,
cool.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was heaving as well when I played. It was amazing. The guitar tech took my guitar, put the strap back on it. I did a song. It was incredible. Quite a few people were filming as well. And all of a sudden, I was just about to play "Read All About It" by Emily Sandé.
Tune.
Strum my guitar for the first chord, and it literally fell. It literally plummeted to the ground. My guitar strap fell off because the guitar person didn't actually tie it on properly.
That's not good.
And it fell, and it made a big clonk noise. Everyone gasped. And I didn't know what to do. It was quite early in my career. And I literally
it's
just
a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it?
It was. And I looked at the stage management, and they were like, it's okay, Roadie's coming. So Roadie came, took my guitar. And they were just like, just talk for a few minutes. I didn't want to waste time. I was like, this is my moment.
You only get 15 minutes.
Oh my God. It was amazing though, because I literally just went, right, let's do it. So I started singing a cappella.
Ledge.
Everybody joined in. Everybody started clapping.
That's amazing.
Everybody loved it. I loved it. It was incredible. And then the guitar tech gave it back to me just as the chorus was about to come in. And I strummed the key, and I was in key, which was quite funny.
It's good that the dropping of it didn't put it out of tune.
I know. And and it was brilliant. Everyone cheered when I managed to get the guitar back on track, and it was really great.
That's amazing.
So
man.
yeah, have spares. So if you have a guitar strap and you have a spare guitar strap, someone else can borrow that guitar strap so it doesn't interrupt with yours.
Definitely.
Sorry, carry on.
No, it's a banging story, mate. Yeah, spare guitar strap, even a spare guitar if you can afford it. I mean, I've always got backups, spare guitar strings. I keep a guitar pick in my phone case just in case.
And your wallet.
And my wallet.
Yeah.
Very true. Number 2, know your worth. When you start getting paid gigs, when you heavily rely on those paid gigs for your main source of income, not sort of passive income, but your main source of income, know your worth. Like, if you do, say, 2 45-minute sets for this amount of money, and then someone asks you to do it for a lower amount of money, it's hard to say no, but know your worth, isn't it? Yeah,
know your worth. Don't let people take advantage of you, especially if you're new into this industry. Venues have money.
They do.
People have money.
They can afford to buy drinks.
If they want you, then They'll have you for the right amount of money.
True.
Obviously, don't overprice yourself, but know your worth and know that you're not just going to play for 2 hours for 20 quid.
No.
Like, know your worth.
Like some promoters have asked us to do.
Yeah.
Who shall remain nameless. Number 3, promote yourself. No one's going to hear about your gigs if you don't put them on social media, if you don't tell people about them at the end of your current gig. Say where you're playing next, because you want people there. Makes it a good experience.
Yeah, 100%.
Number 4, as soon as you finish your set, I used to make this mistake all the time, and I just pack down immediately. If I'm tired, I probably still do. But as soon as you finish your set, don't hide away. Go and talk to the audience, because that's a good chance to network. They've just finished. They remember you. It's a good chance to hand out business cards, get a few Facebook likes.
Yeah.
And you never know, someone might want you for your wedding.
That's 100%. And sometimes people are too worried to come up to you to talk to you. So if you're going over and talking to other people, it makes you more approachable, and you're going to get a load more gigs. You're going to get a load more stuff that's going to be good for you, really. I
can't remember who it was, but I remember I was on a lineup with someone. It was outside of Hertfordshire. I think it was in Bedford. And the guy on before me was like, when I finish, come over and say hi. I would come over and say hi to you, but a court order says I mustn't. Well, that's the best way to encourage people to come talk to you. And then number 5, I think now more than ever during this coronavirus stuff, we've realised that the musician sort of circles, especially where we are in Hertfordshire, are like a family. So your competition is not your enemy.
No, that's very true.
Half the people either book gigs for places. You never know when you could be on a lineup with them, so they're not your enemy.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
Teamwork is definitely key there. Like, my first point was basically there's plenty of work to go around for everybody. And if you work in a team, and if you work as a family, like as a musician family, you're going to get more gigs anyway, because the dates that I can't do, I pass on to my friends and musicians.
Very
and the
true.
dates that other people can't do, they pass on to me.
Yeah.
So it's just working as a network and working as a team, I think, and it'll get you a lot more work, and it'll help them get a lot more work.
Very true. Very true.
Number 2 for me is don't neglect social media. So you said don't forget to advertise your gigs and stuff, and don't neglect yours. So if someone's commented on something of yours and they've got involved in it, then reply to them. Yeah. Thank them for getting involved.
They took the time to comment or watch your video or tune into your live or something.
Yeah.
Take time to reply.
Definitely. What else have I got? Don't post too much personal stuff. We spoke last week about stalkers and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't post pictures of my car or my house or any sort of personal details. I try to limit it as much as I possibly can.
I've actually removed my phone number from my website now.
Have you?
Yeah.
See, I have a work phone, so I'm okay with that.
See, my phone is my work phone. It's a business account, but I've had to remove it because I got like 2 calls from people, like subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah. Fan accounts probably.
Wow.
Yeah. Scary stuff. So
now Connor now has fan accounts on his YouTube, which is really cool.
Really creepy, isn't it?
No, it's not creepy. It's amazing.
It's lovely. Thank you to the person who made the Connor Wells _
You're welcome.
fans.
I'm joking.
You're welcome.
I'm joking. It wasn't me. Yeah, so don't post too many personal things on your stuff about family and all that kind of thing.
Very true.
Number 4, a very good friend of mine taught me this, Mr. Lee Smith, who we're going to try and get on the podcast at some point. Lee Smith and his buddy, they Spencer Wood, I think it is. They wrote a book.
Who's in that book?
I am in that book. They asked me to do a little section of review and all that kind of stuff, so that's there. Spencer, they wrote a book. It is called Steps. It is amazing, and I would definitely recommend it. But he taught me that network is key.
Absolutely.
Networking. You can't network enough. And as an example for this, Connor and I were on our way to film the Good Luck Club podcast for Simon. We were on the train, and a woman was next to us, and I'd read I'd read Lee's book the night before, and I thought, thought, do you know what? This woman's next to us. I'm going to talk to her.
Yeah.
So we ended up striking up a conversation with her, didn't we? And
she was actually looking for people to film stuff.
She was looking for a videographer, and you passed her your card.
Yeah.
And you're now in touch with her, aren't you?
I am. I've got a Zoom call with her at some point next week.
Networking is key.
It
definitely.
Is. Number 5.
Number 5. Not everyone is who they say they are.
Very true.
This annoys me. So people will come up to you and be like, I'm a producer, I'm a record producer, I'm this, I'm that, I can make you famous.
I can get you on any festival.
Oh, and it annoys me because half the time those people aren't who they say they are, and it's just a waste of time.
I get that when they say, oh, I can make your social media grow, you can get like 10,000 followers, and when I look on their account and it has like 20. Like, no.
Literally 20, not 20,000.
20.
20.
And they're probably bot accounts.
Yeah. Just annoying. So, the things that I've learned is don't believe that what everybody tells you.
And then number 6, sort of bonus one.
Yeah, bonus one. Make sure all of your accounts and income is legit. Get an accountant. I get tired of hearing how many musicians you just take it cash in hand, don't put it through the books. And you know what? I've always been above board.
Same.
I've always done all of my accounts, and now it's paid off for me because I now am approved for the government scheme with the lockdown and everything, where I can get paid with the grant.
Nice.
Because
socially distant high five.
Because I have at least 3 years of books. I've done all of my income, which means that I'll get more per month.
Very true.
Which is brilliant.
So happy days.
I've saved myself that.
Exactly. And plus it's not worth the risk. Like, although you may be getting in cash in hand, but say if like a pub or a venue is having their taxes and their things questioned or looked into, and they go, oh, what's this? Where's the invoice for this?
Yeah. So just keep it all above board. If there's anything that I've ever learned,
very true.
It's just I've always done it above board. So just do it.
Another thing we've learnt, Adele has lost a lot of weight, hasn't she?
So this moves on to...
Smooth little segue.
Yeah, smooth little segue. So this moves on to sort of images in the industry and how you're perceived.
Street cred.
Yeah, street cred and all that kind of stuff. And do you think, street cred-wise, that your image affects your music sales?
Oh, definitely.
Do you think?
I think so.
Because Adele obviously has been one of the plus size.
Adele tribute acts must be fuming right now.
So I mean, Adele is the most iconic voice, and I think people embraced that she was plus size, and I think she was a massive role model.
She embraced it as well.
Yeah, and I think she was a massive role model for people. And now that she's lost all that weight, I mean, it's a bit like, I want to know the reasons why. Did she do it because of personal reasons?
I've heard it's because of her recent divorce. So her husband basically demanded 85% of her net worth.
85? Why 85%?
I don't know, because apparently I have no idea, but I saw somewhere that her net worth was this certain amount, and he was demanding a sort of a lump sum, and that ended up being like 85% of her income.
That just
in the
annoys
divorce.
me.
And now she's lost all this weight, and she's like, see ya. Look what you lost.
I mean, for me, you hear about the whole like revenge body kind of thing, and I think as long as your mind's healthy, it shouldn't really matter what your body looks like. And
very true.
It's kind of really put a highlight on how much image and your body is kind of criticised and penalised in the media, because look at the response that Adele has had about the weight loss.
It's loads of people have said it's amazing, and yet some people have said no, she's clearly had like liposuction or a gastric band, and like, even if she has, she's still improving herself, and if that's what makes her happy. If
she's happy, if she is healthy, then I guess that's all that we should worry about, really.
Very true.
And she's not the only celebrity that's been in the public eye, has she?
No, Mr. Tax Dodger, like, keep your taxes above board, Mr. Gary Barlow. I mean, he's got a great voice, but he's been dodgy, hasn't he? But
I don't know about that, so I wouldn't know.
He falsified his taxes. Yeah, did offshore accounts and stuff.
Oh God, Gary.
Yeah, but
I mean, he's still an incredible songwriter.
Still an amazing songwriter.
Still a massive amount of respect for a songwriter like that.
Absolutely, but he's lost loads of weight. We've put it on the screen now. This is one of his jackets from what was it, 2003?
For those of you who are on Spotify and all of that kind of, and on...
we'll link the
Apple
news
Music.
report in the description.
We will link it for you.
The picture is him wearing an old coat, like an old blazer from 2003, and it's mad. He posted it on Instagram, how much weight he's lost.
We've always been Mark Owen fans.
I love Mark Owen. Roxy is the only person I know that knows about the song 4 Minute Warning.
4 Minute Warning.
Which, interesting fact, is 4 minutes long and is written by Gary Barlow.
See, it's just
he's
the
a gem,
facts just keep on coming on this podcast.
Yeah, I know, right?
I really think that this one is massively important.
Mm-hmm.
In this industry, and I'm sure you do, we get asked a lot of times this question. Will you do this gig for free? Now,
It's a touchy one, isn't it?
I have a rule, and I've developed this rule over the times that I've been in this industry. And for me, I have my rule, and I stick to my rule unless I have real sort of big
Reasons.
It's not expectations. Justifications.
Justification.
I don't know.
That's a good word for it.
Unless it's like something that I really think that it can be an exception. I choose my charities.
Mm-hmm.
I do a certain amount of charity gigs.
Yep.
And those charities that are close to my heart, I make sure that I look after them, and that for me is me doing my part.
Definitely.
I've got quite a few charities that I work for and that I raise money for and help out, and do certain things for free. But if I said yes to everything, I would not have a penny.
Because you could be saying yes to an evening charity gig, and then someone offers you a paid gig that same night. You're losing a bit, aren't you?
Yeah, and I try my best. If I'm not busy on that night, I'll try my best to do it. They're the exceptions, really.
Definitely.
But for me, I have these people and these charities that I work for free. Festivals as well.
Bullstock Festival is a big one.
Bullstock Festival is a huge thing that, I remember quite a few years ago getting in a quite heated discussion on Facebook about this. I put a post up saying that someone was asking me to play for free. There were certain people that brought Bullstock into this. Now, for me, Bullstock is something that I've always supported. If
Definitely.
ever I'm free, the organizer G, he's incredible, and anything that G needs, I'm sure that we're all of us around this area.
Definitely.
We definitely agree that anything that G needs, we try our best to do it.
Absolutely.
So Bullstock got brought up, and someone was sort of slagging it off in a sense, and almost, I think all of us actually stood up for the festival. Now, Bullstock Festival, they raise money for
loads of different charities.
For charities.
Don't they have one main charity and then like 5 other little ones where the income from the festival is split.
Yeah.
And it's all the stage managers, all the musicians, no one gets paid. It's all voluntary.
And it's all held within pubs as well. We'll try and get G to come on. I think he said he was interested to come onto the podcast so we can talk to G about it. And he can explain about how everything works and all of that kind of stuff. And
we've also spoke about covering live events and stuff. So maybe if Bullstock does go ahead in September, we could
it'd be amazing to go along.
Talk to people.
Yeah.
Interview people.
Have like a Bullstock podcast
special. Yeah. That could be cool.
That'd be sweet. So basically, I think there are certain festivals and people say, oh, can you play this gig? There'll be loads of people there. It's good exposure.
That's one word I hate. I can easily get exposure just by doing like a £10 boost on Facebook.
It's true.
Like, there's a photo that always floats about on Facebook groups, like of promoters and venues to avoid, and someone was saying, "Oh, this pub is asking me to do like 2 1-hour sets for free," and someone replied, "Go to if the pub says, oh, could you play at this pub? It'll be great exposure. Just reply to them, oh, could you provide like food or drinks at my party? It'll be great exposure. We can't pay you, but." Be good exposure.
No, it's definitely... And the thing is, people don't realise that it's not just that time that you're spending there. You're not just singing for a couple of hours. You've got to drive to that venue. You've got to set up at that venue. You've got hours of your time rehearsing, getting your gear together, petrol money, travel time, all of this stuff adds up.
Yeah. And when we do our prices, it's not just for the 2 hours gig, it's for the travel to get there, the petrol costs, it's for it's for the petrol costs, it's for, you know, paying for our insurance of equipment, it's for the packing down, the breaks in between,
for the not national insurance, for the public liability insurance. I mean, it all adds up, and us musicians. I mean, and it's national insurance as well, and it's frustrating because people think, oh, well, they'll just do it for free. They're just musicians, whatever. But it's not the case. I mean, it's our full-time job.
That's like our next point. People who don't get it.
Yeah,
it is a real job.
But before we do that, let's go on to how to say no.
Yes, there are many times where we're asked to do, like what we spoke about, like knowing your worth, asked to do a gig which is, say, significantly less than what you'd normally charge for a night's work.
Yeah.
And you come into the tricky situation of, do I say yes or do I say no?
And if you want to say no, how to say no?
Because you could be torn between, oh, it's a night's work, it's money, but then there's, if someone finds out that I'm doing gigs for a lot less than I would normally charge, someone else may expect that from you. Yeah,
I mean, for the charity kind of things, and for the people who are asking you to not take a fee or take a cut or whatever, for those people who aren't in my sort of list that I help regularly, if somebody does say, can you do this date, can you do this gig please, for free, I will then reply to them and say, look, I really appreciate what you're doing. I think it's great. However, I have the charities that I sort of help and support. I am full-time in this, and as much as I would love to, I can't.
Yeah.
And I'm
with
really
a response
sorry.
like that, most people should be able to understand.
Yeah, and I've got really good responses from quite a few people. Sometimes people just say whatever.
Yeah, some people get really shirty about it, don't they?
And if they do get shirty, then if I'm kind of honest, you probably don't want to be working for those kind of people anyway, because they're probably not going to appreciate it anyway.
True.
Make sure that you work for people who appreciate you. And sometimes when people do have to pay sort of the odd 20 quid for your fuel or however much, even if you say to them, I can do it, however, I am going to need for you to cover my costs in fuel.
Yeah.
And if you could supply me with some food when I get there, that would be great.
That's always a bonus.
Yeah.
Where's the best place you played, food-wise, where you've gotten a meal?
Oh, Saffron Walden Cross Keys.
I'd say Radcliffe Arms mac and cheese.
Oh, they are good. In
with
Hitchin.
the bacon.
Yeah, they are really
just
good
down the
there.
road from me.
Yeah.
Which is a good one. But then, like I touched on earlier, people don't get that music and our creative job of YouTube, photography, making videos is actually a real job. It's not just singing a few songs as a hobby on a Saturday night. It's not just sticking a video up on YouTube. There's a lot of planning that goes into this.
There is a lot of planning. There's a lot of expense that goes into this as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Guitars are expensive, cameras are expensive, equipment is expensive. Everything has a cost. And for me, I've found that I'm sure you agree that when I'm met by, and until the coronavirus, I was actually in quite good demand.
Yeah.
I never really struggled to get gigs.
No.
And I've been extremely fortunate. And what really annoys me is people who kind of patronise you. That really irritates me. So it's like people who say things like, when you say, oh, I'm a musician, I'm a full-time musician, they're like, oh, bless you. Oh, it is a hard industry.
Yeah.
And it's like they look down at you instantly.
And they look like, what's your real job?
Yeah. And it's like, okay, so that's your hobby. What's your day job? And it's like, no, music is my full-time job. And they just instantly look down at you and think, ugh. And I mean, I know that the title of this thing is Young Broke Musician. I get that. And musicians, if you're doing it right, then you can make a really good buck.
Oh, definitely.
I know you can.
We can.
But for me, I mean, for us, we do well.
We do well.
I think the good thing about music is you get to charge an amount for your worth, because you're worth that. But not just that, but the reason why, if you're full-time, it's a little bit more extra is because you can't really work on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
True.
Sometimes you can work on a Thursday.
Not
and then
many
you work
places
Friday,
do.
Saturday, Sundays.
Yeah.
There are limited days that you can work.
There is no such thing as weekends.
There are no such things. I mean, in fairness, probably Monday and Tuesday is my kind of weekend.
Same.
But now with podcasts and all that kind of stuff, we're spreading ourselves quite thinly, but we love it.
Fun.
We enjoy it, don't we?
Definitely.
So I think for me...
Do you enjoy it? Hit that subscribe button.
Love that.
Cheeky plug.
Yeah, it's just people that don't get it. People that sort of just think that what you do isn't hard work as well. It's like, oh, just sing for an extra hour.
And when you touched on the patronising thing, that really used to annoy me. Like, but when I was doing YouTube for like the last 5 years, in the first few years, people were like, "Oh, that's the guy that just makes YouTube videos. Oh, he wants to be famous." I don't want to be famous for it. I just do it because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And now with all this coronavirus stuff happening, I get messages every day of people asking me how to make YouTube videos, or how much money I make on YouTube, or how to do it.
No one should ever ask you how much money you make.
Definitely not.
I definitely think that's a question that you shouldn't ask.
And now, because of coronavirus, they see it now as a job.
They do. They do.
It was a job before that.
It certainly was.
And I jumped on that train, mate.
Hell yeah. So we will probably wrap it up there. So let us know, guys, if there's anything that you want us to talk about.
Absolutely.
Let us know if you want any guests on here and who you want.
We've been planning, haven't we?
We have been planning guests.
Some people that we want. Some are realistic, some not so realistic, but we've got goals and ambitions, and
that's what matters.
Exactly, and we enjoy it. So if there's anyone you think we should talk to, anything you think we should talk about, anything you'd like to hear,
get in touch.
Let us know.
Yeah. And we will see you in the next podcast next Monday at 8 a.m.
Absolutely.
So there's one thing left for us to say, guys,
there is.
That is
see ya.